Early and medieval Christians, like modern Eastern Christians, weren't afraid to pray with their bodies as well as with their voices and minds. We still manage that mindful bodiliness on Good Friday, when in the solemn prayers we pray by kneeling, then creep to the cross. And when we say the Rosary, especially together, fingering the beads, saying the prayers, pondering the mysteries. This prayer is so multivalent, it can be said privately or publicly, at home or on a journey, when we are alert or when sickness or sadness dim our consciousness. The repeated Hail Marys shape our minds, for as we hail Mary as Mother of God, we reinforce our conviction that her Son is God, the Father's Word, who became our brother, so as to reveal his Father and share his own sonship with us. When we repeat the salutation, "The Lord is with you," we share Mary's joy at learning that her Son is Emmanuel, God with us. Gabriel's greeting would have reminded Mary of ancient prayers, such as Jonathan's, "That the Lord be with David," and of God's promises to be with his people. Also of how the angel saluted Gideon, "The Lord is with you," before commissioning him to deliver Israel. Mary would have realized the promises were being fulfilled, the prayers answered, the liberation was at hand. Elizabeth's prophetic greeting, too, "Blessed are you among women," would have told Mary that she herself was involved in the liberation. For in the Old Testament, Jael and Judith are called blessed among women. Jael and Judith, who killed the generals of the armies that were oppressing God's people. As the Rosary unfolds, it leads us through Mary's own pilgrimage of faith. As she pondered and cherished the strange things that happened, she learnt how unexpectedly, how powerfully the promises were being fulfilled, the prayers answered, how profound a liberation was being wrought. Her Son, who was offered in the temple and lost for 3 days, would offer himself on the cross, having passed through the water so that in baptism we can die and rise with him, having given us the Eucharist so that the power of his sacrifice can flow to us. While other disciples find Jesus' preaching hard to accept, there was nothing in Mary to resist her Son's strange good news. Hence at Cana, she could launch him on the ministry that would progress towards Calvary, and there she stood by Emmanuel in compassion as he purchased his bride, the Church, which she symbolized. Mary was in the heart of the Church in the days before Pentecost, praying for the spirit of freedom, whose gift her Son's sacrifice and ascension had won. She continues to set God's people free by her compassionate prayers for us sinners, sometimes from terrestrial armies or navies, always from the spiritual hosts of wickedness. For her prayers obtain the gifts of the Spirit, who empowers and guides God's children on our pilgrimage of faith, into the glory of all the saints.